up during the 60s as a little kid, and I've got sisters that are substantially older than me, so as a little kid I was exposed to a lot of young men that had been to combat and Vietnam War, obviously. And my sisters eventually married those guys, and I remember one day being at my sister's house, and I still wasn't 10 years old, and my brother-in-law had a piece of metal like this sitting on a table next to his chair, and I said, "What is that?" "It's just a shiny square of metal." And he said, "Well, it's garbage." He said, "Unless you're in Vietnam." He said, "To us it's garbage, but over there they could take that and make anything they wanted to, more things than you can imagine." He said, "And if you can't imagine it and you had $1, they'd make it for you." And that story's always stuck with me, and it's kind of been the underlying theme of my adult life. I can take nothing and make something. And I told you I would talk to you about, how I get by financially in these times, and it's by taking nothing and making something. And if you take a good look at my channel, you'll see that time and time again I've showed you how to take nothing and make something out of it. I've worked with small equipment, a lot of gun work. The gun stuff isn't really even about guns. It's about making something happen with very little. It's about making do with what you've got. And that's important in repairing anything, because maybe you cannot get a part, but you can make one with what you've got. You'll find gardening videos, chicken videos. And anyway, that's kind of my message for tonight is it's all about making the best of what you have available. I didn't do it right. There it is. So I hope that gives you a little insight into my mindset about making the most of what's available to me. And I've been doing it for years, so I'm probably making it sound easier than it is. But we're a wealthy country, the U.S., in a lot of ways. And the benefit to me is that there's things everywhere that can be repurposed, bought, repaired, whatever. There's a lot of just raw materials that are already mined and just laying everywhere. I wish scrap prices were higher, because I have a big stash of that too. But anyway, what I had hoped to do this week was do a little work on this 410 Stevens. This is something out of my Shit Hit the Fan stash. It needs firing pin. I have a few things put back that need repairs, and I bring them out when times are hard, because I'm not going to mess with it until I need it, because it doesn't have a firing pin. So it's not like I'm going to sell it on a whim. The markets are crashing all around the world, and well, as I speak, and I don't know what that means. Is it the end? I don't know. It's not the end of anything for me. The shit hits the fan one house at a time. I don't believe there's the zombie apocalypse scenario that everybody panics about so commonly, and like people have told me, "Oh, you're going to get creamed, you're downtown." Well, no, I'm not. I'm not afraid of these people. They're my neighbors. What I expect to see happen in a failure scenario, widespread failure scenario, is community will form. We've been divided and separated, and one of the things that I've done and my wife also, of course, is to form community on the internet. We know a lot of people in our area. Just through Facebook and whatever, we've created community. We have community. Not just my neighbors here on this street. Of course, I know all of them and have for years, because I've been here a long time, but we know hundreds of people in our general vicinity. So we have community in that sense. And speaking of my wife, she is the flip side of myself. What I do out here in the yard, making something out of nothing, she can do in the kitchen. She is an old school cook, so it benefits us that we're a homestead and have eggs and we can mill flour. And you know, if you look at the Unknown Cat channel, you can see that there's milling going on and all sorts of things, and it's basically a shit hit the fan channel this whole time, and I just didn't tell you that. I've given you tips on how to reduce your electric bill and just all kinds of things, and that's key to getting by on selling little bits of nothing here and there, is to just not have a lot of financial need. Now granted, it takes some prior planning. We're Americans. We were born to consume. You're supposed to borrow money and go to the bank and keep this cycle going, and I got out of that a long time ago. My wife and I both did, and we don't have any debt. You know, I moved into a shack in the hood when I was a kid because I could pay cash for it. And you know, I'd actually like to talk about tiny houses at some point, because we started out in a tiny house, and I'd like to give my philosophy on that. I see a lot about tiny houses lately. Anyway, what I had hoped to do this week was crack open this 410 shotgun for you. This is something out of my stash for hard times. This is a Stevens 410 that's missing a firing pin. So what I have to do for this is make a firing pin, obviously. I was thinking I would blue this gun and do several things to it so I could show you that. But the finish on this gun is actually too good. The receiver's got a nice case hardened look. The barrel's in real good shape. So I won't be able to do all that. But I will go ahead and knock this receiver apart for you so you can see how one of these goes together. Because that's pretty interesting and a good thing to know. And, well, shoot. I was making do with what I got. And at that moment it meant a chair to change a light bulb instead of going and getting a footstool. And I took a header yesterday, so my ribs are a little sore, so I'm going to cut this short, and you know, I've got to go deliver a piece of equipment that I repaired and sold, and so I got to go do that. Anyway, thanks for watching. You know, I appreciate you. We're going to get back to more gun stuff, this one probably very soon, and you know, I'll just keep telling you what I think I know about you know, having a nice day. I'll see you next week, if not sooner.